Edison has been in development for a pickup truck kit, and they have a couple of goals here. One is that they want to make the kit half the price of buying a new truck. That's the goal. If you have a truck and you want it updated, whether you have an old square body Chevy or a 90s Ram or whatever, they want you to be able to buy the kit for half of what it would cost you to buy an equivalently performant truck. Most trucks that can tow 14,000 pounds or more cost
80 grand, 70.
They base models around 50, depending on the brand, but they trade hands in the high 60s generally because of the options and whatnot. So we're talking about a $70,000 truck. If you could get the performance of a $70,000 truck, it's basically a resto mod kit. If you think about it that way, and you say it's 35 grand, how much does a resto mod cost, Mason?
A lot.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So this price, so if you're assuming that the truck's 70 to 80 grand, the kit would be 35 to 40 grand. Does that include them upfitting it, or they just drop everything off your doorstep?
That's all in.
Okay. So you
Drop
the truck off.
They have, they're building a network of certified installers.
Okay.
Where they can do the proper instruction, and then basically they just have someone show up either remotely or in person from Edison, probably in person for the first quite a few, to work out any software kinks. And the big change that they've gone through, they just announced this on DeBoss Garage, which is a sister channel to Edison. And DeBoss Garage has been heading up all of their small truck platform stuff. And on a live stream, they were the guy who runs DeBoss Garage was like, "Oh yeah, we're talking about making this a little bit more modular." And then Chase was like, "No, we're not. We're building our own chassis. It's going to be faster. It's going to be easier. It's going to be cheaper. We decided we're just doing our own chassis."
Their own chassis for the small truck?
Yes. So you just show up with your truck. The body gets
What's even left?
The body gets picked up and put on the chassis.
So this would need to be like more of the heavy duty trucks then, because
Right.
those come off the ladder frame chassis and you drop it on.
Yes, and the nice part about this, it's basically the same idea as like a skateboard platform that a battery electric would have, except that you can run this thing for, those big cherry picker trucks that electric companies use to work on power lines.
Yeah.
You could put that on this chassis. You could put anything you want, because it's going to be built for a 3/4 or 1 ton truck. And I haven't gotten to the nicest part about this. Now, what's the horsepower on the 6.4 2500 Ram?
The Hemi?
Yeah.
In the truck application, it's like 470, right?
Yeah. What's the horsepower on the 6.7 diesel?
Like 350?
410.
410, okay.
In this, they have two options. They have a 350 or 500 horsepower option. With the 500 horsepower option, they're shooting for 20,800 Newton meters of torque. And what is that in foot-pounds? That is 15,300 foot-pounds. And my first thought is probably the same as your first thought, which is that's with gear reduction.
Right.
One of their big advantages here is that they aren't running an electric motor lengthwise down the truck. And you might think it doesn't matter, but it does. If you're running an electric motor lengthwise down the truck, then it has to go through U-joints in a drive shaft. What they've got is essentially a miniaturized version of their train axles that they put in their semi-trucks. So the power is being generated in the same axis as rotation like a Tesla motor. A lot of these other companies, they're putting an electric motor generator on the back of the standard engine and just running it from there. Not for EREV, but for hybrid and whatnot. And the problem with that is that if you give your driveline the torque that thing will give, you snap U-joints immediately.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of how much power the torque the electric motor has. It's how big of a U-joint are you willing to put in, and how big of a U-joint are you willing to explode if something...
You're going to lose power by fitting a larger and larger joint there, right?
And, well, more than that, it's rotational mass, it's complexity, it's cost, but it's also throttle mapping. That's why you get some of these electric vehicles, these hybrids with a sandwich motor, where you hit the gas and you don't get the instant torque that you get from an electric car. That's why these hybrids can't do that, because it would just shatter components.
It has to ease into
Right. Well,
power.
when it's coming directly out of the motor and onto
right
the
into
hub,
the wheels. Yeah.
my thought is, where's the gear reduction? If there isn't one, and again, I'm not an expert on this. I've just watched a lot of their videos, and maybe I missed something. But if I'm right, that's 15,000 foot-pounds with no gear reduction.
That's 10 times what the highest end Super Duty truck could achieve.
Yeah,
More than.
right. And again, I could be wrong here, and I would love to have someone correct me, because maybe I'm not understanding. I think the motors are in line with the axle, and if there's no gear reduction involved, 15,000 foot-pounds of torque doesn't even seem possible in my mind.
Yeah. I think things would start breaking at that point, right? Like your wheel hub or
Right,
your,
like all kinds of stuff would just shatter. So there's got to be some kind of gear reduction I'm just not aware of, or I didn't look closely enough at the videos.
Okay.
So we'll gloss over that for the moment. But just know that it's going to be a rolling chassis. It's going to look something like this, and you're going to put the body of your vehicle is just going to sit right on top and plug in.
And I assume that's a universal platform that they made.
Right. So they've already started designing brackets and whatnot to
Cool.
be able to fit this to different bodies. Because someone with like a 1958 Chevrolet might want to put this underneath it, you know? And just the same as somebody with a 2004 Dodge.
Oh, so not just modern trucks. but older trucks.
Anything you want, basically.
I think that's super cool. I think there's an irrational component to this. Yeah, sometimes you need to trade in an old truck because it's just not getting the job done. But a lot of times people just want to buy a new truck.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. People just want.
But I think people that are buying this want the performance advantage that this has. So they're buying this more for businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a fleet or whatever it may be.
Could be, yeah.
It seems less appealing to the average Joe compared to like a business that's like, well, we have to buy a dozen new trucks or we upfit our existing fleet for half the price.
And when you're talking about $60,000, $70,000 a pop, and you've got 100 trucks to do,
It adds up.
So this is all pretty up in the air. They just got their second prototype finished. It's a Ram. The Ram started first, but then a customer came in wanting a Land Cruiser. I think it's a 70 series Land Cruiser with a truck bed. And so they had to miniaturize a lot of stuff to get it to fit. And then they were doing some testing with the Land Cruiser, and they couldn't get it to stop doing four-wheel burnouts on the dyno. And it was in testing mode. They weren't like flooring it. They were trying to do throttle mapping and all this other stuff. So then they went out on the road and they took one of their semi trucks, put a load on it, altogether weighed 100,000 pounds, and then towed that with a 70 series Land Cruiser.
Who needed that?
I don't know. But it's a 70 series Land Cruiser that can tow 100,000. Now, obviously, it's not rated for 100,000 pounds.
Right.
But like it comfortably just took up the slack and left with 100,000 pounds behind it.
Jeez.
And that's their miniaturized version. This is the full size.
For like a heavy duty truck.
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about their pickup truck kit. This is probably years beyond even the semi trucks hitting the road. And this feels exactly like we did with Topsy, which was their first prototype semi truck. And he's like, almost every single component on this truck has now been updated by the time we're done. We've learned so much from this process.
That's going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to happen dozens of times before they get to like a standardized
Right.
platform that doesn't need any more revisions.
I think that probably is one of the things that led to them wanting to just build their own chassis.
Especially if they want to cover multiple generations.
They want to cover basically anything you've got.